Hello friends, welcome you all once again in our video. Today we are going to discuss string in Java live demo. So let's start it. In this live demo, we are going to discuss how we can create object of a string and also some important method of a string. So let's start it. So to cover up this demo, I have created a class named string objects, and inside the main method we have examples. So first example, which is very popular with the programmers, this is a way to create a string object using literals. So if we create a string object like that, Java tunes it up with the help of string constant pool. We have already discussed this way during our theoretical discussion. So this is a preferred one. Let's try to execute it. So the output is what actually we have given over here. Now moving to next way, how we can instantiate by other ways. Using a default constructor, we can also create a string, and since we have not provided any value here, let's see what will be the output. So it will be blank, nothing else, because we did not assign any value inside that. It is also one of the way to create an object of a string, or we can say that instantiate string. Here we have a parameterized constructor way to create a string. Whatever the value you want to assign into the string, you can use it. And we have already seen this example into the theoretical demo also. So here the desired output, whatever the value is being assigned into this parameter, that value will be assigned to reference variable, and that is why we are getting this value as a output. Now moving to next example. In this example, what we are seeing here, we have a byte array with the value 65, 66 and 67. But when we assign, or we can say that when we pass this argument in this constructor, then it will become a part of a string. So let's see what will be the output. Then we will discuss why this output came. So in output, you can see that it's a ABC. So why this ABC is coming instead of 65, 66, 67? Because what happened in a byte array, I have taken an ASCII value of A, B and C. It's a capital ASCII value. And suppose if I'm going to take the value 97 over here, then what will happen? It's a small a ASCII value. So it shows that if we know ASCII values, so you can put that ASCII value into byte array, and after passing as a constructor argument, then you can have those values into the string. So if you are having ASCII values, then you can also create a string from that using this constructor, passing the byte array inside this constructor. Now moving to next example. Suppose we are not having a byte array, but we have characters. As we have already discussed, the character is in Java enclosed with a single quotes. So here we have a characters. So character array can also be passed as argument of the constructor, and that will be taken as a string. So finally, let's execute it. Its value is ABC. So what happened? The character array is being passed, and that constructor creates a string, and the reference goes to here, and it is printing ABC. So the sequence will be changed in the character array. The string output will be changed. Let's see. Trying to change the values. and the output is same in a sequence, in a values, whatever it is, and present in character array. Now moving to next example. In next video we are going to discuss about string buffer, and then we will discuss it in detail. But for now I want to tell you that if you are having any object of a string buffer and you want to convert that object from buffer to string, so we have a constructor in a string which takes argument as a string buffer. So by this example, what you can do, you can get the string, the same value what is inside the string buffer. So here we have a ABC into the string buffer, and when I have passed the string buffer over here, so the values those are present in a string buffer will be here as a string class object. So here we have a value. Quite simple. Now moving to next constructor. As we have discussed earlier, like string supports multiple languages and all. So here some example of like how we can do the Unicode characters and something like that. So we have a constructor in a string which takes a byte array or character set also. So here what we have done, I have some Unicode examples. These are the Unicode. Very soon you will come to know that what are these Unicode for the means what are these Unicode for a value actually. So we have created a string, and here we are creating a byte code, and by this example we are creating the character set. So right now I am creating a character set UTF-8 because what I'm trying to print is I'm going to print the characters of Hindi language, that is ka, kha, ga, gha, anga, and these are the Unicodes of those characters. And here the byte array of that character, and here the character set UTF-8 because the Devanagari comes under the UTF-8. Now let's try to execute it. So here we have an output ka, kha, ga, gha, anga. So by this example, you can print any different characters of a different languages like Chinese, Japanese. So you need to come to know that what are the unique characters of that, and using this you can print those values. Suppose if this example will not execute, then try to save this Java file, save as UTF-8 file, then it will execute very easily. Now moving to next and last example, and here it is using the byte array. So let me take value from there. Yeah, it's fine now. So suppose you are having an array and you don't want to use all the characters, you only want to use some character to go into this string. So you have this kind of facilities like pass that byte array, set the offset and set the length, and you will have those values. So let's see over here. It's a B. It says that from the index 1 print one value only. So that's a B. Now let me append some byte arrays to see more examples. Suppose I'm going to use 2 and 3. So the index 2 is here, it's a C, and the 3 is 1, 2, 3. So the output is C, D, E. So how this constructor works. So for me, these many type of constructor we are used. I means many more constructors you have, you can explore them, but the main constructors I have introduced you. Basically, in a real world, we generally using the buffer and literals and also this new keyword mostly. But I have explained you some other constructor also. So in the real world, if you want like different languages uh, to print, so you can go with this unique characters and also. Now let's move to different example, that is some useful methods of a string class. So let's start this example. Here I have taken two string. First one is str technology.kart, email technolozies.kart@gmail.com. So for now I'm going to comment these many line of code. Okay, so the very first thing which we use often in real world is a length method. That method what does? It counts all the length and it will print that what are the many characters we have in this particular string, including the space. So try to execute this, we'll get the output. It's a 17. So if you want to get the length of a string, you can use method length. Moving to next example. Now moving to next example to check whether a string, if you want to check two different strings, so you can use the equals method. So equals method does exact match checking. It means that technology card and technology card is exact equal, then it will return true. But here it will return false because the T is in uppercase and K is also in uppercase. So it's not an exact equal match. So it will return false. But here we have a different equals ignore case method in a string that only checks the characters. It ignores the case. So it will return true. Let's try to execute that. So the answer is true, false, true. As I said, equals exact match true, equals exact match false because the T and K is in capital case, equals ignore case, exact match with the characters, not with the case. So it's a true. And this is also a good method which we often use in the real world for validation kind of stuff. Now the next very important method, that is a string substring actually. So from a string, if you want to take a part of a string, then we use this method substring. How it does work, you can see over here. So let's try to understand why output. So why the first output is technologies. How we are able to get technologies from the complete string technology cart. So what happening over here, like substring, actually where you want to begin this string, you need to pass the index of that string and also the end of the index of the string. So here what I am doing is, like I have told this substring that start with a 0. As we know that the length was 17, so I said that 17 minus 5, that is 12. So go with the 12. So technologies, if you talk about, it's a 12 including the space. So when we have executed, so it's executed that technologies. Since the 12 part. Now moving to next option, that is start from 13 and go to 17. Let's try to execute it. So it's a cart. So by using this, you can dynamically assign the values, but if you want to go with the constant values, you can do this thing also. Here the value is same. So by this way, we have seen the two different ways, a dynamic ways and a constant way. Now moving to next method, that is match. So it is used to check that suppose you want to check that Aussie's name of a string, com kind of word present into the particular string or not. So whatever, like if you know about database, then you know about the like queries. So suppose uh, in this regex regular expression, we are trying to say that means Aussies is not part of the beginning of the string. It is somewhere at the middle of the string, and after that it may possible some value can come, but at the end the M will be there, O will be there, and C will be there. So between the Aussies any string can come, or space will come, or before the Aussies any value will come. If this expression goes true, then it will return true. But where it will match this condition? It will match this condition on email object. Let's try to run it. Where this is true. But suppose I have given A before this thing. So it's now regular expression says that string must start with A. Means email, first value of the email should be A. Let's try to run it now and check the output. It says false. Yes, it doesn't start with A. So by these way, you can also check that means some part of the string is a part of particular my string or not. So like query kind of string, or you can say that easily if you don't know the database queries, then you can say that in a complete string, if you want to search that this part of a string or this part of a string is present in the complete string or not, so you can go with the matches. For same stuff, we have a different method into string. Here, in this index of what happened, when you use index of method on a string object and passing any value, it shows that at which index or array index you can say that present in present this substring, a part of a string. So it will return you that index. If value does not exist into that string, then it will return -1. In this example, you can see Aussies is a part of email technologies, but Avinash is not part of this this particular string. So this will be returned -1, and this will return an index where the Aussies will be found. So here is 7. Since Avinash is not part of that particular string, it returns -1. So you can find out at which index this particular string lies, and you can find out with the index of. And some programmers what does, they also checks that this part of a string is a part of the bigger string or not by this way also. Apart from that, we have also some methods named contains. This contains method checks that this string presents into where we have called this contain method. So here it checks that this Aussie is present into the contents or not. So here let's try to check. It's a true because technologies Aussies is present in technology, but Avinash is not present in that. So it's a false. So if you want to check whether it's a present or not in the string, you can also go with the contents. So we are able to understand difference between the matches, index of, and contents. For the matches, you need to write regex if you want to do the complex search, like end with or begin with. Index of will give you the index where it present. If it doesn't print present, then it will return -1, and contains will tell you in a boolean like it's present or it does not present. So it's like a, if you want the output in a boolean, you can go with the contains. Now moving to this example, this is a very important method of a string. It's a concatenate. It is used to use the concatenate. The method name is concat. Actually, it will concat this particular string the string value is technolozies.kart and concat is my YouTube channel. So here the output will not come like technolozies.kart is my YouTube channel, because what happened whenever the concatenation happen, it returns a string. You can see over here in Java docs, it will return a string, and that string will contain the concatenated value. This str will not. So let's try to look into that. Yes, it's a technolozies.kart only. It is not printing technolozies.kart as my YouTube channel. So if we hold that particular string, whatever the return by the concatenate and concat method, if we are going to print, then it will print this value. Okay. So this how this concat method works. Now moving to next example. In this example, we are going to learn not this one for now. Yep. Okay. In this example, we are going to learn the use of intern method. So what we have done, I have created a string 1 ABC and a string 2 using the new keyword. When we will check the reference of both strings, it will return false, because we have already discussed that when we create the literal, the object will be taken care by the string pool, but when we create the object with a new string, the value will be stored into the heap. Since both values coming from two different memory locations, so their memory location, when we try to check that the reference variable, then it will be false because their location will be checked. Because to check the value, we have already seen we have a method equals method. So for the equals method will return true, but equal to checks the reference of this particular objects. Since the reference is of two different places, so the output will be false. But what actually this intern method does? What intern method does, the value which is present in the heap, this intern method make that value interned, means then the reference of string pool will be assigned to the S3. So what happened? Intern method will check that this value, which is a part of heap now, do we have this kind of value into string pool? If yes, then the same reference will be given to S3. If no, then object will be created into the string pool and that reference will be given to the S3. So from now S3 will point the pool. So now S3 is pointing to pool, S1 is pointing to pool, so the value will be true from here. So let's try to check that. So as we have discussed, S1 is from the pool, S2 is from the heap, the output is false. But using the intern method, S3 takes value from pool, S1 is taking value from pool. So the string pool reference is taken by both the reference variables, so it's true now. Now moving to next example. Method name is char at. It requires this one. Okay, yeah, it's done. So this method, what it does, if you want a single character from a string, then you need to pass the index of that particular character. So I have passed 1. So the okay, let me check. Something went wrong. Yes. Okay, let's try to execute it once again. Yes, the output is B. It means that the index 1 is a 0 1, B will be returned. Suppose with the 3 0 1 2, we don't have any character on 3. So what will happen? It's a string index out of bound exception. So we don't have this kind of index. So we found this kind of exception. And here we have a desired output. So how does this char at work? You can see over here. Now moving to next example and the last example for the day. This is 2char array. This method what does, it gives a character array from a string. So if you want, because we know that a string is immutable class, so the value cannot be changed and all, but you want a character array from the string. If you want to do some manipulation char by char of that string, then you can use this method 2char array. So this 2char array returns a character array, and what I have made over here, this is a program to print value into the reverse. Means using this program, what I have done, created a character array using 2char array, and from the length I have executed a loop from length to 0, and it will print the value from character the length size to 0. Means the first, if you go with that like the length, the last one will print first because the I is going from the last length minus 1 to 0. So the max length value will be M, so M will be printed first, then O, then C. So this is a program to execute a character from in a reverse manner. And the point is, if you want character array from a string, you can go with the 2char array. So let's execute this. So here this program actually, as I told, it will print the complete string in a reverse, so it's a output. So actually that's it from my side. I tried my best to introduce you some different ways of constructor to create or instantiate string objects. In that you have seen some example from byte array. You have seen also example of how you can print the different language characters using Unicodes and all, and also we have covered some important methods which is generally often used by programmer in their daily life. Apart from that, you have multiple methods into the string. You can go with that, and you can easily learn those string methods too. So that's it from a side in a live demo. So during this live demo, we have covered, if we talk about the live demo and also the theoretical part of the string discussion, we have covered what is a string, what is two different ways to instantiate a string, what is interned string, what is string constant pool, why string is immutable class in Java, why string is final in Java. So that's it from a side from string. In next video we are going to discuss string buffer and string builder. Till then, thanks. If you like this video, please hit like button and also subscribe my channel to get, whenever I'm going to upload any video, you will get the notification. So please hit bell button also. Till then, thanks. Thank you.